NIKKE is a game that I love, but I also hate, because how could they make some of the best characters like Neve, like Delta, and some others we'll talk about today, and then completely forget about them and make them one of the most useless characters in the game as well. That's going to be today's topic, the biggest waste in terms of design when it comes to characters in NIKKE. As usual, before we start, hello there, welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Once again, today's topic, a pretty simple one. Wasted, in my opinion, character designs in this game, considering how good they look and how god-awful they are. There is only 2 SRs, and then we'll move into all of the SSRs on this list, in my opinion. I'm not gonna be including some of the newer ones yet, like for example Sora, because I don't care too much about her design, but of course she sucks, right? And since we are talking about character designs, I think it's important we also mention skins, because skins in this game are really good, but sometimes they are just too expensive. So if you are looking to get them for cheap, you should be using today's sponsor, Top Up Life. Top Up Life is a platform that will allow you to get any pack in the game for cheaper than what you would actually do it in games. So for example, the Rapid Red Hood skin you could be getting for $40 rather than $51. They have multiple payment methods. They will just log into your account and get the pack or skin that you are looking for, quite cheaper than what it would be in game. For example, some of the Missions Pass are even 13 euros rather than 24, which is really huge. And if you want a bigger discount on top, of course, use coupon code Sefhi. So of course, thank you to Top Up Life for sponsoring this video, and let's go back to talk about the biggest wastes in this game when it comes to character designs, starting with one of my favorites, which is Neve. Neve came in on the Christmas event, I believe it was the first or maybe the second one, I don't even remember honestly, and then never again was she to be even mentioned in the story. I think recently she was mentioned, and that's like about it. I've seen more doujinshis about Neve that I've seen her even mentioned in the story or used by any players. She is a nice character, but sadly her kit sucks ass. Even if we talk about Pierce, this is a shotgun that, similar to Dorothy, gets Pierce on her rounds, but doesn't become a sniper, and it's only for 2 rounds after you went on full burst. So it's kind of awful considering she's at least a base capacity ammo 9, right? So that's it. Sadly, she's the first character we got a mention in this list. The second character I want to mention, and is the last SR we'll talk about, is Delta. Delta is a character that, of course, clearly I like tattoos, okay? I like my mummies with tattoos, and NIKKE doesn't have a lot of girls with tattoos, so Delta, of course, caught my eye pretty quickly. She's a nice character, she has nice assets as well, okay? Even for an SR character, pretty nice ass. But sadly, when it comes to her kit, just like any SR in this game, to be fair, they are just awful. Shift Up is slowly making SSR version of these characters, which is nice, but I would prefer if we directly get these characters buff, not only just Neve and Delta, I'm talking about SRs in general, right? It would be really nice if all of them got a sort of a buff, not a treasure please, I'm tired of treasure, just buff them a little bit, make them a little bit more usable so players can take advantage of this. That said, those are like the only 2 SRs I want to mention because personally it's the ones I like. Let's actually talk about SSR characters and the ones that are complete waste, and we have to start with the biggest crime Shift Up has committed, alright? Nister. The perfect combination between fan service and actually looking really fucking cool. And she sucks so much, so there is 0 reasons as to why you even would bother unlocking her. You don't even bother unlocking her with how bad she is, unless you care about her MLB background, which is not even that good in my opinion. But this is a character that looks so great, and is so trash. Sadly, in my opinion, like I was saying, I think this is one of the biggest crimes Shift Up has committed when it comes to character designs being absolutely useless, looking so great. I think more characters should come out like this, which is original designs. They look really cool, and it's not just mindless fan service. It's not just a skimpy swimsuit. It's an actual nice design, right? So in my opinion, sadly, Nister has to join this list. Another character that I really like her design, the skin. And this is just a small like incision, this is not included on this list, but it's the skin for Snow White. I would love if they do more skins like this for cheaper. I'm gonna be honest, this is not worth $20. But it's really fucking cool how they went ahead and make a completely new battle suit for her that looks this nice. But then again, $20, no burst animation, no voice lines, no nothing. It's just like the skin with the lion behind. It's like, If they did more skins like this with less fan service and actual more battle suits or battle front or whatever you want to call them, right? I would be buying them if it was like $10. Or even 15, I would be down to buying those skins, honestly. That said, back into the topic, I wanted to talk about another pilgrimusi. There is a couple pilgrims that are just, awful. And the second one is gonna be Haran. Haran, if we talk about her base design, is one of my favorite designs. I think this is such a cool design. Again, just like in Nister, it's a great combination of looking like a witch while having some fan service, but it looks good. So it's a really pity that outside of day one players who were using her a little bit early on, because she had some usage considering the roster we had, right? She just never saw any usage. Her skin, fantastic. Her kit, absolutely disgusting. Electro units are filled with good characters. There is zero reasons to be using her. And speaking on Pilgrims, and speaking on Electro, you know who's next, alright? You know who's next, even though technically she's not wasted anymore, because now we have Arcana. I want to still include her on the list, because I don't like this system. I don't like Trina, I don't like Arcana. I don't like characters that are clearly meant to be a treasure for a Pilgrim. Nothing else. Because it's like such a lazy game design thing to do. You have a system already in place to make these buffs, and you decide to make an extra character just for this, instead of following the same system that you decided to make, right? So I personally don't like the system of releasing Arcana and Trina, but Isabel is on the same spot as Haran and Nister when it comes to looking really fucking nice, but then again being absolutely useless. Once again, at least Isabel now with Arcana is doing great damage, and you can invest in her. I'm gonna be honest, okay? Like a 777, and just getting her lives decently with what you get in Arcana leveled up her skills is more than enough. And now let's talk about probably something that is not a surprise to anyone, alright? But that is going to be Summer Neon. Now, to be fair, we have to be thankful to Summer Neon. Summer Neon is the reason we get good limited seasonal characters, because she was so fucking bad that they buffed her, and she is still one of the worst DPSs in the game. That is how much Shift Up understands their own game. At least nowadays we're getting better characters, can't really complain on that regard, but I still am kinda sad because she looks really good. I like her a lot on this skin, but there is zero reasons to be using or investing in her on absolutely any situation. And now also talking on probably worst DPSs on the game, and a controversial one for this video. I know what you guys are gonna say, okay, Sefhi, you are tripping. But I have to say, I like her, okay? I like her design. So to explain a little bit more, I like how she looks. I hate how they did her in terms of personality. To me, she is a bad villain. She is a character that has no depth. It's a character that makes no... It doesn't even make sense why she's blowing up stuff. It doesn't make sense. Now, they might be making an event in the future explaining it more, but I'm gonna be honest, I think she is hated so much by the player base overall that there is no reason for Shift Up to make an alt character for her. They will probably make one for Viper and even Jackal before they do a Crow alt or even a Crow backstory event. But I personally like her a lot. I would even buy a skin for her if they release a decent one. Again, I like my girls with tattoos, what can I say? But sadly, this was one of the first, if not the first, B3 defender character we got in the game, and her kit is just goddamn awful. Again, with Neon is down there as probably the worst DPSs in the game, both of them together. Alright, now after this we can go into like a more modern character, if you wish. More modern, a more recent release, right? And that's going to be the fake gym influencer. Now, to be fair, I'm including Rummani just because I like how she looks, but also her design is pretty basic, and on the same category we could include Bay and Clay. Bay, Clay, and also Rummani. All three of them are characters that are pretty basic. It's a gym influencer, it's cheerleaders, right? And that's about it. So they don't look bad on that regard, but their kits are a complete waste. Now, Bay got a treasure, is still goddamn awful. It's a PvP treasure, so I would not even bother to be building that, right? But still, it's a pity that characters that look so nice and have good fan service were just wasted. These are characters that will always remain at the bottom of the tier list, even with the treasure. Zero reasons to be investing in her. Now, those three are more of a normal design, not so much like the other characters that have more unique designs, I will say, right? But there is one more we could be including on this list, and that's kind of a little bit of me maybe nitpicking, and we could include, honestly, all of the characters on the Kindness squad. We could be including them, but my favorite is Sin. And she's probably the last one I want to talk about. I'll check my list on a second, but Sin is another character that looks so good, but then again is having the curse of Shift Up retarded game design, because the liberation system, while it's a good idea and it's giving us free characters, all of them are bottom of the barrel. They are really fucking bad. Even at the time they were released, the only Kindness Squad member that got some use was Quincy a little bit, because her buffs were not awful, they were not, you know, no great, but at least she could be sustaining a little bit. And Guilty was the only one that actually saw raid usage, even until recently. And because wind was not the element it's today, right? We didn't have Wasuka or raid, you didn't have SPS, even your Sakura or your Mana as a sub DPS, etc. So Guilty saw some usage, she is a nice character, people who fully invested in her. Even to this day you can see her on co-op and some of the raids. But honestly, that is my list of the characters that in my opinion have really good designs while being a complete waste of a kit. Shift up, please fix them. That said, do let me know what characters you personally like and feel like are completely wasted in the comments down below. Once again, thank you to Top Up Live for sponsoring this video. And as usual, we are live every single day. Link in the description. Good luck with your pool dinner rates, and I'll see you in the next one.